Today is the day that the hair is just, it probably doesn't seem like it to you, but to me, it feels long and needs to go. So today is the day. Much better. Nice, short, just the way I like it.
So, from our FO thread, the smart device that goes by the name that begins with an A picked post 120, which is GreatScott Knits.
Hey, congrats! Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And
I don't think we've ever drawn a winner from somebody that we knew, have we?
I don't know. So,
Wait till you see what you're getting.
This prize includes the Painting Shawls by Stephen West and a skein.
Well, if you can call it a skein, it's gigantic.
Yeah, a cake of Freya hand paints. This was donated by
Linda
from Knit New Haven.
Yep.
This is in the colorway Crabapple. This is a beautiful
It's
color.
beautiful, and there's like 700 and something yards.
So it's a fingering super fine, and it has 786 meters.
Oh.
Excuse me, 860 yards.
Wow, that's huge. Scott, if you already have this book, because I know it's pretty popular, let us know and we can substitute something else in there for you.
I'm a jerk.
Okay. So this will be for you, and again, like I said, if you already have this book, let us know. We'll give it to somebody else, and we'll get you something in return. But this is going to be gorgeous.
Yeah,
It's got like
really
an ombre,
pretty.
like fading kind of effect. Super cool, and I've worked with this before. It's really, really nice.
Hi there, I'm Scott, and this is GreatScott Knitting. Vlognukkah, episode 4. Today is December 10th of 2022, and I'm coming to you from Wichita, Kansas, where I live with my husband, my grandnephew, and my 4 dogs and a cat. It's a full house. Anyway, welcome in. If you're new to this channel, thank you for checking it out. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, make sure you hit that little subscribe button and to help the channel grow. And for those of you who are returning viewers, thank you for your continued support and for watching and giving it your attention. So I do want to start off with a great big huge thank you to Needles at the Ready, to Kevin and Ray over there. As you just saw, that my name was drawn out of the ethers by Electronics to win one of their giveaway prizes of a West Knits book by Stephen West and a cake of yarn that looks really, really gorgeous. So yeah, that's exciting. I can't think of the last time I won any type of contesty type of thing like this. So I'm like thrilled beyond measure. This is really quite cool. But anyway, thank you, Kevin and Ray, for your amazingly interesting and fun podcast. I really do consider Kevin and Ray not my friends, but I consider them people that I care about because of how authentic and real and genuine they are in their podcast. So if you are watching, thank you. I really do appreciate the giveaway items that you are sending out to me and really to other people. I appreciate your channel and all that you're doing. So anyway, great big thank you. So where are we? We are in the middle of Vlognukkah, in the craziness that is the holidays. So for those of you who are new to this channel, this is a knitting vlog on YouTube, and I talk about things that are around knitting. I talk about things that are fiber related, and so I do have some knitting things to share. I did finally finish my second Pinecone Bear Beanie by Benjamin Matthew Designs. So here is my second version. My first version is floating around here somewhere. My first one is over here. So you'll be able to see the difference. So this is the first one, a little bit on the smaller side, or just it's shorter. Everything else is exactly the same. It's just this one has a longer brim, which fits my ears, goes down over my ears a lot better. Oh, there we go. Anyway, fits down over my ears a little bit more to give me better coverage, which is what I was looking for. Cute little medallion of a sort of a Christmas tree, which I really like. So cute. Really great pattern. The yarn is naturally the ball band has gone missing. Oh, here it is. That yarn again is Audine Wool's Sleek. This is a knit crate yarn. This yarn is 55% merino wool, 30% baby alpaca, 15% silk. So very cute, very lovely. It's super soft. So it's really it was fun to knit too. So I would highly recommend any of the Benjamin Matthew designs. So it's really cool. Speaking of Benjamin Matthew designs, he has he put out another freebie recently. It's no longer free, but he put out another freebie. I think it was last weekend. Don't remember. But it is this center point beanie. So as you can see, it is more of a ribbed style hat, but with these really cool cable effects going on. At least they appear to be cables, but you never know. They could be faux. Could be faux cables, where it's just all knits and purls. But I haven't looked at the actual pattern, but I did get it downloaded, and so it's in my favorites. It's ready to go, which is really kind of cool. This is another one that he designed in Malabrigo Rios yarn, which he designs a lot of his beanies in that yarn. So that's really super cool. And then today there was another pattern that was became available from Josh Ryks-Robinsky, otherwise known as Rebel Pup Knits. His Marl and Fade Shawl. This is a pattern that he designed for use with everybody's advent calendars. It is fingering weight yarn held together, so it's basically kind of a DK-ish, worstedy, heavy DK, light worsted probably. If you were using just with single strand, but you can kind of see that it's really quite pretty with its effect. So lots of nice texture I can see, and then I love this border. That's very fun. So that is available, and I think until the end of the year, it is just a $4 pattern. Normally it's $7, so he's knocking about $3 off of this pattern between now and I believe it's the end of the year. So now is your great opportunity to go grab the Marl and Fade Shawl by Josh Ryks-Robinsky. And yeah, so those are the two patterns that I've picked up. Now I do not, or actually I cannot say do not, but I have not, up to this point, ever purchased or received an advent calendar of yarn. I am not opposed to them. Just have never invested in an advent calendar. Never did when I was a person who celebrated the Christmas season. I never had advent calendars growing up, for that matter. So it was just never a thing for me until I started hearing about the concept I was as an adult, and I've just never really done anything like that. So, and then, you know, at this point, being Jewish, Advent's not a big deal for me. So, but then again, an Advent calendar would be fun to have, sort of a daily thing to sort of lead up to that holiday season. Now, for me, of course, Hanukkah floats around anywhere from somewhere near Thanksgiving, which actually a few years ago, it actually coincided with Thanksgiving, all the way through actually into New Year is the latest point at which Hanukkah can occur. I think in less than 10 years, it's actually going to end after New Year's Day. I don't remember what year that's going to be, but I know that's coming up. So Hanukkah can really be anywhere within this month period. So, you know, an advent calendar is not one of those things that's often going to happen. But, you know, one of these years, I think that would be fun to invest in one of those Advent mini skein calendars in fingering weight, because I do find many of these Advent calendar patterns to be really pretty and would be fun. Now, I do have quite a bit of leftover bits and bobs that could actually be used in a pattern like this. I just haven't really sat down and analyzed how much I have and how they might all fit and flow together. But so, hey, maybe that's something I could do, during the first quarter of 2023. I don't know. I have a lot of plans for 2023, and I don't know which ones are actually going to come into fruition. I think maybe what I need to do is write down a list of all the potential ideas, and then kind of maybe prioritize them, which ones really resonate with me, and focus on that. That'll be sort of my tip for myself for going into the new year. But I've got a couple more weeks before I really need to start focusing on how do I want knitting to go in 2023. More on that concept of thinking into the future here in a little bit. So I have made some progress on my work in progress. And the work, of course, is the Easy Goes It DK shawl. And of course, you can see it is beginning to grow to it's not quite at its maximum, but it's coming very close. I am at the final section of eyelet activity. So these, the yarn overs to give us these eyelet holes. This will go on for a little bit longer. Then there'll be kind of a border section, and then it's just a basic knit two together type of bind off. Yeah, so this is coming very near its end. I still have plenty of yarn, so I may be able to go a little bit longer than where the pattern suggests. Maybe. I'm not going to push it too much, because as it grows, those the number of stitches that are on the needle gets to be quite substantial. I think it's, by the time I get to the end of this section, it'll be very close to 150 stitches. And for this type of a shawl, that yarn can go eat up very quickly with that number of stitches. So we'll see how much further, how much longer it grows. But of course, then when it blocks, it'll block out a little bit more. I'm going to be very careful as I block it to open up the eyelet yarn over holes, but not too much, not opening up too much the garter stitch. I might open up the stockinette stripes a little bit, but I don't want to open the garter too much. I like how the garter is that texture to it. One moment here. My nose was really itchy, so I had to blow my nose a little bit. Okay, so a finished object, works in progress. So the Hallgrim scarf is kind of on hold until this gets done, until the shawl is finished, because the shawl does need to go out the door. It is a gift knit for someone, and that needs to be done probably Monday at the latest. So tomorrow needs to be a heavy hit on working towards finishing that up. So yeah, that's where that's at. So this, I don't want to get too much go too much longer, but I do want to, of course, engage you in the into my Scott talk for the day. Thank you to all of you who have been providing me comments and, of course, giving me your thoughts and support around the loss of my brother. That it's still something that it's still sore. It's one of those areas that will never truly heal. It's just one becomes accustomed to that being a pain point, to some extent. But I appreciate everyone's thoughts around that. And I also appreciate everyone's thoughts and ideas that you have been putting into chat around my Scott Talks. So today's concept, or today's talk, is going to be around the idea of begin with the end in mind. It's the idea of having a personal vision for how you want different things to turn out before you start. So basically knowing where you're going before you head out. So if you're at work, that would mean having an agenda for a meeting, planning what you're going to do on any given day. Now I have itchy eye syndrome. Man, maybe my allergies are messing up. Sorry about that. So yeah, whatever you do before you begin, decide what you want to accomplish by whatever that activity is. What is your end goal in performing that activity? What does it look like when you are finished? It's like when you're planning, when you're going to go grocery shopping, sometimes you plan out a number of meals. You begin that preparation before you head to the store. Some people do. Some people go to the store and just start grabbing things off the shelf. That's, for me, never a good thing. So there's all these little places and little aspects of your life where if you stop and think about what you want out of that situation before you start, you will more likely wind up in the place that you want to be. You will more likely get out of an activity what it is you want to get out of it. It's like when you start a knitting project, oftentimes you begin with an end in mind. You have a picture of what somebody else has knit in mind because you see that. The big difference, like recently in October, we had the Mystery Knit Along from Stephen West. We start that project without an end in mind. We don't know where it's going, and that's kind of the end in mind of that project is the mystery of it, the unfolding and the discovery, and oftentimes it's the process more than it is the product. Whereas with many things, sometimes it is the product that you have in mind. You want to have a gift to give. And so, like for me, this gift knit that I'm working on, I have a particular vision of what I need to have happen. It needs to be fast, so I'm using DK weight. It needs to be somewhat feminine. So there are eyelets, which make it seem lacy. It has a more soft colors, not particularly bright. So there's a lot of things about it that are meeting all of my needs for being a gift knit during the holidays. It's going to be quick. It's going to be easy. And I should be able to have it done, blocked, and ready to go in time. So beginning with the end in mind, that's what my end in mind was. So that's kind of where I'm talking about now. That's looking at things in a very close up manner, at different activities. And that is very important to make sure you're taking care of the little things. But I'm going to take the camera out and go to more of a 50,000 foot level, maybe, the top of a mountain. And I want you to take a look at and consider looking at the idea of what is your life mission? What is the end in mind for your life? And a lot of people think of it, will ask this question in a different way. Think of it like a personal mission statement for your life, or what is your North Star? What is your driving passion? What is your why for existence? It can be a very big question to ask, but I think it is an important one to ask yourself and then to strive to find the answer. There's a really great quote, and I think it was Viktor Frankl this is a quote from Viktor Frankl. In this quote says, we detect rather than invent our mission in life. And so oftentimes we don't go through the process of that detection, of asking ourselves key questions that help uncover what it is we're about, or what it is we want our life to be about. Because sometimes we live not by intent, but by default. And what I mean by that is we allow the winds and the pressures of life and our environment and society to dictate how our life will go and how it will turn out, instead of making conscious choices about where we want our life to go. And so I want you to think about the idea or this concept of writing a personal mission statement. So here's some ideas about personal mission statement. So a personal mission statement is the end in mind for your life. It enables us to shape our own future instead of letting it be shaped by other people or circumstances. So that's just kind of a really interesting thing of deciding what you want your life to be about. And here's what a good mission statement will do. If you base it on principles of effectiveness, you'll be in good shape. You'll always kind of have that North Star. Mission statements help clarify what's important to you, and then make it easier for you to make decisions, especially those hard decisions of, do I change direction? Do I change jobs? Do I get into a relationship with this person or not? Do I end that relationship if it's not going well? Do I move to another part of the country or not? Our mission statement can help us in making some of those decisions when we reach the fork in the road. So these are just some ideas to consider about the idea of mission statements. I want to give you a few thoughts or questions around how to maybe craft or start discovering what you, or detecting what your mission in life might be. So consider taking these questions to heart. When are you at your best? When are you at your worst? What do you really love to do when you are working? What do you really love to do in your personal life? What are your natural talents and gifts? And here's a question I really love, because it can really give you some deeper insight. If you had unlimited time and resources and knew you could not fail, what would you choose to do? What is your life's journey? And what kind of person are you? you will be a person who does what, or who is something. What do you consider to be your most important contribution to the most important people in your life? And what do you need to make a priority in your life that maybe isn't a priority today? Now, here's a really interesting exercise to go through. Think about how you are influenced by the people around you. They are probably people that you may want to emulate, or people who have shaped who you are today and have been examples maybe for who you're trying to become. Maybe these are people that you have known in life, family members, grandparents, great-grandparents, aunts or uncles, maybe teachers, managers, neighbors. Or they maybe are figures that you've read about in history. Maybe people like Lincoln, Einstein, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr. Imagine you could invite 3 of these people who have been the most influential for you to a meal, because they have given you such great influence and shaped your life. Who would these people be? And what attributes do they have that have been impactful on you? Consider these 4 areas of your life. What are some things that you could do in each of these areas that would have the greatest impact on your life and help you achieve a sense of balance? And think about these items. Your physical well-being, meaning your health, your nutrition, exercise, stress reduction, your social emotional, your relationships, friendships, family, your mental, meaning learning new things, exercising your mind, helping it to grow and become more agile and nimble. Your spiritual, knowing your core values, what it is that gives your life meaning and purpose. Consider how you balance these 4 areas of your life. I hope you find those questions, those concepts interesting. Take some time to consider how you might answer those questions and those ideas, and then write some of those things down. You may be surprised at what you learn about yourself. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring today's episode to a close. It's, kind of, sitting about where I think it's always going to be, almost at an hour. It's kind of crazy. But, I really like sharing with you some of my ideas, some of the things that have impacted me in life, this is just kind of where my brain goes 9 times out of 10. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you are tracking with me a little bit. So with that, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. It's been a really fun day for me, and I hope your holiday is going well. And so until next time, may you have peace in your home and the fullness of joy for all who dwell there.